This week, we're breaking down one of the most debated fisheries decisions in Canada, the doubling of the Northern Atlantic cod total allowable catch, a controversial move raising questions about risk, science, and whether meaningful supply is finally returning. Northern Atlantic cod is one of the most iconic fisheries in the world, largely because of its collapse in 1992 when Canada shut the fishery down entirely. After peaking near 810,000 metric tons in the late 1960s under open access fishing, it remained under moratorium for over 30 years before reopening in 2024 with an 18,000 metric ton TAC, followed by a doubling to 38,000 tons in 2025. That has put the stock back in the global spotlight. According to Fisheries and Oceans Canada, DFO, latest assessment, northern cod spawning biomass has remained stable near 300,000 to 600,000 metric tons for almost a decade, with the 2025 estimate around 524,000 and a 99% probability the stock is above the critical zone, supporting a tightly managed commercial fishery well below historic levels. Here's the key point often missed though. Northern cod didn't suddenly increase in the water. In 2023, DFO updated its assessment by resetting reference points around modern maximum sustainable yield, MSY, integrating ecosystem signals like Kaplan and recognizing a climate-driven productivity ceiling, reclassifying northern cod as stable enough to reopen despite never returning to historic levels. Here's where this gets more interesting. In global context, northern cod now holds the largest spawning biomass among major cod stocks, yet fishing mortality remains exceptionally low in Canada, near 0.02 versus about 0.2 in Iceland and over 0.6 in the Barents Sea, making it one of the most conservatively fished cod stocks despite the quota increase. However, conservative fishing hasn't eliminated controversy, with NGOs calling the quota decision political, while DFO and industry point to annual assessments, built-in stop signs, and rapid management triggers, all underscored by the fact this recovery is confined to northern cod in Area 2J3KL, not a coast-wide Canadian comeback. And while that debate continues, supply is already materializing, with Newfoundland and Labrador preliminary landings nearing 29,000 metric tons of Atlantic cod in 2025, and per UCN, Canadian exports totaling 6,775 tons in the first 9 months of 2025, led by frozen fillets, and the U.S. remains the primary market, signaling real availability for retail and food service buyers. Although northern cod isn't returning to the Wild West fishery of the 1960s, under updated science, low fishing mortality, and annual oversight, it is re-emerging as a controlled, sustainable supply option after decades off the market. For buyers, this means gradual supply increases, conservative year-to-year TAC management, but a fishery that will remain under close scrutiny. If you are interested in Canadian wild-caught Northern Atlantic cod, please connect with your Tradex Foods business representative. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe to our 3-Minute Market Insight to stay tuned for further updates. Thank you for joining me for the Tradex Foods 3-Minute Market Insight. This has been Ryan, reminding you to buy smart and eat more seafood.